Okay.
All right.
Ready to start? All right. Hey guys, welcome to the. I can't do this.
We can always edit it,
It
right?
just sounds so scripted. Okay, wait. Ready.
Hey,
Welcome to
I believe.
Illuminatrix. I can't say it.
You got this. Deep breath.
Okay. Hey guys, welcome to the Illuminatrix. We're here to discuss. I don't like how it's scripted now. It's just random. We're here to discuss the problems of reality. Okay. Give it a go. One more.
Try as many times as you need. Fine.
Hey guys.
Oh my god.
We're gonna be here for like 10 minutes, just me trying to say the intro. Hi guys, welcome to Illuminatrix. We're gonna discuss the kind of the holes, the truth in our reality. We're gonna touch on religion, politics, media, ETs, which are like extra-terrestrials, conspiracy theories, spirituality, just kind of a ton of questions that we have for the world, I guess. I'm here with August. I met him actually through the app Quora, which is kind of like Reddit, I guess. It's just kind of like an underrated.
It's a better Reddit.
Yeah. So I actually came across August's page like a couple months ago. I smoked weed. I remember I was on my bus ride home from school, and I like literally wrote in my notes like "wake up," which was kind of like weird, but I was like, okay, whatever. So I'm sober the next day, and I'm just like kind of started looking for more answers after like writing "wake up" in my notes, and I remember people like talking about reincarnation and like past lives, and I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, why don't we remember our past lives? If that's a thing, like if with the whole cycle, if we're supposed to be learning lessons and each life we're learning a new lesson, why can't we remember our past lives? Because I feel like that would be, like pretty important. And so I like looked up on Quora if reincarnation's real, like why can't remember our past lives? And August's article immediately jumped out to me because he was saying how it's all a trap, like we're trapped souls or something. Do you want to explain that?
It's interesting, and I love how you mentioned that my article jumped out to you, because I mean that's just the majesty of the universe. Like the reason why I write in the first place is because I know that information is truth, and that there are certain people who need to know the truth, and the right people will come across the right information at the right time, and the universe literally said it was her time. Read this. So that's great. And I don't know where you guys are in consciousness and spirit, but
do you want to explain like spiritual awakening real quick?
Yeah, sure. Spiritual awakening. Yeah, see, a lot of people who aren't spiritual, they confuse spirituality with religion, and to me there are two completely different things, and in my opinion one is real and the other isn't. And spiritual awakening, it has nothing to do with that. It's not religious in any way, and it's honestly just the truth of our reality, of who we are, what we are, and the reality we live in. And right now, on Earth, right now, there is a great awakening that's happening. And it was my time a couple of years ago, and a few years ago, and it was Phaedra's time, like not too long ago too. And this spiritual awakening, it is happening globally, and a lot of people are waking up to it. And and it's such a beautiful thing, because the truth, they say truth sets you free, and this definitely will. you know,
Yeah.
once everybody wakes up and realizes that like there's way more going on than what we can see with our eyes, and all it would take to make Earth a better place is for us to awaken to these truths, spiritual truths, you know, and everything else we're going to talk about, you know, the conspiracy truths, because they are conspiracy truths. I don't believe in conspiracy theories. They are conspiracy truths.
Well,
Like I would say,
theories actually does mean like it's proven true. Like that's
yeah,
what a theory is. The fact that I just hate the name conspiracy because it's like, I don't know, I think it throws people off a little bit. I guess theory is just, it has bad connotation to it, or bad rep.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, for sure.
I wanted to add, like, everyone's spiritual awakening is usually different and at different speeds.
Yeah.
I think for me personally, mine was a couple months ago. I think right away, like, well, they say like it's like opening your third eye, kind of like you're just kind of, you kind of reevaluate everything, like you take a step back. Like I remember I read some book, I like remember I really wanted to read this book, so I read it, and there is like it's called Paper Towns. I'm sure you've heard of it, I guess, and a lot of people have read it or seen the movie, but it's
Say
by
the
John
name
Green.
of the game.
What is it? What'd you say?
What was the name of the?
Oh, it's Paper Towns. It's like
Towns.
a kid book. It came out like a while ago. It's by John Green. But so there's like some poem in it. It's called Song of Myself, and in the poem it says, "Don't take anything second or third hand, only take it first hand." And ever since I read that, I started to kind of see things more differently. Like I felt like I kind of took a step back. I was like, okay, my education, like what are they teaching me? Like is some of this stuff like not as true as I think it is? Which I mean, I think a lot of people really rely on our education system for knowledge, and it's like you should be kind of, who's to say that you should take everything as is? Like we shouldn't be like being sponges and just absorbing all this information they're throwing at us. We should be trying to learn for ourselves.
Yeah, totally, for sure. And a lot of people don't realize like the scope of it, like how big this really is. Like what I'm about to say might sound very controversial, but I truly honestly believe this, and this is something I know and a lot of other people know. But like I would say like 90% of the information we learn from school like is not true, and it is given to us on purpose by these dark forces to lead us away from the truth, like 100% for that very purpose. You know, we learn math, we learn science, we learn physics, all of this stuff, and they keep us, and it's in order to keep us in this tiny, small little physical material box, you know, that we're taught. If we can't see it, if we can't touch it, it's not real. If there's no such thing as magic, there's no such thing as telepathy, psychic abilities, all that shit is just fantasy, and it's so wrong. It couldn't be any further from the truth, you know.
Yeah.
One of the best quotes I've ever gotten came from a TV show. I can't think of it right now, but the quote said, "We are taught in this world the only thing that's magic is the magician, but the truth is everything is magic except the magician." And that quote just rang so true, and it's like one of those cool little like bits of knowledge that TV shows drop, because there are, you know, people who do want to spread truth, and they do so in subtle ways like that. So yeah.
For anyone that's listening that doesn't technically believe in like telepathy or telekinesis, or not even know what that is, I still don't even know if I believe in that stuff, just because I haven't experienced it myself. Like what I said, don't take anything second or third hand, take it first hand. But there are things like law of attraction that are true, and we aren't taught that. It's all about like having that kind of like that positive state of mind, like positive things will come to you, or the more that you think about something.
Placebo nonsense.
What'd you say? Did you say something?
I'm losing connection. What?
Are you losing connection?
Hey.
Anyways. But like the more that you think about something, the more that it will ring true. Which it's like I feel like that's kind of a really important thing that people aren't really discussing. I mean, I found a book the other day. I think maybe a spirit guide like brought me to it, but it's called The Secret, and it talks about like the law of attraction and stuff.
That's so cool how you just like found that book, you know, like you wasn't looking for it, or like you didn't know about it, and then boom, it pops up.
Exactly.
Like that's exactly how the universe and like spirit works, you know.
Yeah. It's
and,
like when
and
when you're looking for more answers, you find more answers. Or like
exactly,
you just like you the more that you look for things, the more things will come to you.
Yes, exactly. And it's also important to remove as many limiting beliefs as possible, because like I said, we learn so many limiting things from school and education and our mainstream science, you know. Once you realize that yes, you are connected to the universe on such a deep that there is no between you and the universe, like just knowing that belief will open you up to the majesty of the universe. And ever since your awakening, and now you're getting guided and like to all these different information and books and stuff, and that's how it happens. So yeah, you definitely have to be curious, and you definitely have to have an open mind if you really want to know.
So can you explain like the light and the dark spirit guides? Because I know someone talked to me about that the other day, how there's like kind of the two forces, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say there's dark spirit guides, just dark spirits. Like they're not exactly a guide, they're just there to like fuck with you, and they do, you know. And spirit, you know, there's good humans, there's bad humans, and spirit, it's no different. Like we're all spirit, right? Just the difference between us and them is they don't have a physical body to live in. But they're still people. So there's good ones, there's bad ones. And we are all being messed with on very spiritual levels.
Can you explain how they like play with our thoughts, kind of?
Yeah,
that's really important, because you explain it, then I'm gonna put my input in it. Go ahead.
Sure. So there are, guys, this is gonna sound so crazy, but yeah, but it is so true. It is so happy. The truth to our reality is literally like 99% spiritual. Like we're stuck in this 1% like physical little tiny box, this little frequency band of very limited information and a limited reality. And so these beings are in these other realities, higher dimensions that are all around us, but we can't perceive them with our five senses. But anyways, there are these spirit beings whose literally their purpose literally is to make your life miserable. Like no joke. Like these beings, they feed off of negative energy. And so they can literally see you from the spirit realms. Like you're here, you're at work or wherever you're at, you're at home, and then something like small pisses you off. Like there's a being waiting there, like seeing you pissed off, and they're like, okay, time to make her even more pissed off. Let's go. And then they feed you more like anger, like hate, fear energy, and you're absorbing it, and you're not even realizing that like it's not even your own, because something else like minor pissed you off, and then all of a sudden it escalates, and you're so mad and you're so angry, and then afterwards you realize like, what, that wasn't even that big of a deal, you know, like what?
Yeah, and I can actually I can usually tell these things with a couple of my friends, actually. Like I can kind of tell when some type of like something's messing with them in a way. Like I mean, because it's like you aren't gonna want to make yourself upset. Like there's gonna be something that's kind of like putting these thoughts in your head, because I mean everyone wants to be happy. Why would you want to be sad, you know?
Right.
I mean, yeah, I just don't see how people would let themselves get to a certain point.
No, it is so crazy, like the level of control and like manipulation
I think you're cutting out.
Buttons to press, you know. They'll literally, like, you'll be driving and then they'll know you have like bad road rage, so they'll make you hit like 4 red lights in a row just to piss you off. Like, this is happening, guys, like right now. So yeah,
I
it's
didn't even
important to
think
know.
about it that way.
No, yes, seriously,
Makes
no, it
so much
happens to
sense
me.
now.
Yeah, seriously, and they mess with me all the time whenever I'm writing or something. Like, whenever I'm writing an article on my computer or something, like, so shit will just start like not working, and it'll just piss me off. Like, my italicize button won't work, or like my bold button will just stop working, or like like it won't like submit my article. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Who's fucking with me? Like, but yeah, because it's important to know this, because it's important to know what's really going on. Like, we're not just humans alone on a rock in the middle of empty space. You know, there's so much more going on that we can't see.
Yeah. I think what's also really important to discuss is that religions actually kind of they kind of talk about this too, about how the spirits or whatever are like they're messing with us every day here too.
Yeah.
Just in different formats or using different words to describe the spirits, I guess. But
I think it's really important that we understand spirituality and the spiritual aspects of reality, because, like I said, like, most of the truth in our world is spiritual, and I feel for the skeptics, because I used to be one. And like, whenever before I had my awakening, every time anyone talked to me about spirituality, it would immediately remind me of like religion and all of that, like, programming, like brainwashing I went through when I was a Christian before I became an atheist.
yeah.
And so sitting here now preaching about spirituality, I understand that people have like doubts and like they're skeptical about it
Well,
because of the bad rep that like
I think it's mostly because a lot of
spirituality.
people believe that this information about spirituality and like the thoughts about it are that it's given to us by the devil, which I think is super scary to like think about, that like this is maybe some type of like conspiracy against the human race to like get us to go to hell. But I don't know, when I personally sit back and I think about religion and if there is like a heaven and a hell, I kind of just can take it as like hell. If I was a god, I'd want a selfless god. I'd be a selfless god. And I would want like everyone to be equal and happy, and I'd be forgiving.
Exactly.
And I just think the fact that people are so willing to believe in like a celestial dictator kind of bothers me, and like that they would think that their god would allow them to be put in hell for eternity. Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, totally. And that was one of the biggest inconsistencies with in regards to religion when I was a Christian. It's like, how, like, if religion is all about spreading love and forgiveness, then like how can God even judge anybody? You know, like, it should just be all love, all unconditional love. And like, you could be the most kind, compassionate, loving, but just because you don't believe in God or you don't believe in Jesus, like, you get sent to hell. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
I keep like disconnecting. I don't know where I disconnected at.
No, I heard you were fine the whole time. I didn't hear.
What I was saying. There's so many inconsistencies within religion and Christianity, at least for me. How can God preach love and forgiveness, but then like condemn people to hell for like such minor things, like not following Jesus is like every word, and like
Especially when everything is so based on faith.
Yeah.
Like, how are you just supposed to? I don't.
It's not even just faith. It's more fear with religion. It's more fear. Like one of the biggest things that woke me up was just like, why am I always scared? Like religion is supposed to set me free and make me feel loved and accepted, but every day I'm thinking like, oh, I can't say this, or I might, commit a sin and go to hell, or like I can't do this, I'm going to go to hell if I do that. Oh, I'm so sorry. Like every single day I was on my knees praying for forgiveness every single day, and I'm just like, like, why am I always so scared? Like I know I'm a good person, and yet I'm always on my knees, begging, praying, giving my power to someone else. And really, like, if you really want to know God and like truth, like, know yourself, because like one of the best quotes in the Bible is, God that I love is God made man in his image, and that is one of the only like true quotes that I accept and live by, and it's so true. Like we are literally divinity incarnated in human form. So
Right. I feel like I was gonna add something. I think also, like, back onto like the fear thing. It's like, why should you shouldn't be like scared to take. Oh, well, you're not okay. So religions don't like drugs and like weed and stuff. They're usually like against them, which I find extremely weird, because it helps people, and it helps people like become more conscious of like their actions, and like more aware of how badly they're treating other people, or like it's just, it opens more doors to healing, I guess. And it's just kind of odd how religions don't accept that.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, the control game it goes across all aspects of our reality, and religion is definitely one of them. And they know substances like psychedelics and even weed. Like even weed can heal you, can open you up to higher dimensions, and there is a lot of truth in drugs, quote unquote drugs, and they don't want us to know that. So that's why the religion, tells us, it's a sin. That's why our governments are making these substances so highly illegal, like so illegal, like things like LSD, DMT. Those are all great healers, great teachers, and yet those are like the most highly, like if you get caught with DMT, like you're in big trouble, and there's a reason for that. It's not just like it is literally a truth teacher, like a healer truth teacher, and they don't want us to know that, so they're going to keep it illegal, keep us.
Well, every person I've talked to about DMT is, they say that they just say that they're scared of it.
Yeah, see, and that's all part of the misinformation. They want to lump DMT as just like a crazy hallucinogen, makes you like see crazy shit that's not real, but in reality, DMT, they're not hallucinogens. Like psychedelics, they're not. What they do is they open your brain so you can access these other dimensions, these other realms that already exist. Like they're already there. Just substances like DMT allow us to perceive these other realities that we couldn't normally perceive. But they're there, and there are beings in these realms, communicating to us, and that's how they communicated to me. They communicated to me through DMT, and that had a big role in my awakening. And yeah, and so it's important to know that it's not anything to be afraid of. And if you are a truth seeker, like a true one, then I would suggest you try it.
Okay, do you want to talk about like the kind of like the holes, I guess, in the truth. Like how there's a bunch of holes and there's like way too many questions and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I think one of the biggest problems, one of the worst programming that we are indoctrinated with as a society is the idea, the belief that the truth is unobtainable, that nobody knows the truth, it's all just a guessing game. You know, oh, leave it up to religion to find the truth, leave it up to the materialist scientists to find the truth. But there's no way for us, the common man, to know the truth for ourselves. And there's nobody knows. Like it's all just fucking faith, right? But it's so wrong. It's so wrong. You can find the truth to the big answers. Who are we? What are we? How do we get here? What happens when we die? You can know all of this. There are ways to know it. There are ways to experience it. And there are people who have experienced it. And that's all that truth is. It's because proof, right? You don't want to be those proof guys who's just like, oh, show me the proof, show me the proof. It's like that is also part of the trap. You need to understand that proof is subjective. Like what's truth to someone isn't going to be truth to someone else. I could show you a picture of a real UFO, like a real picture of an alien. I could show that to someone, and to that person, it's going to be like, oh no, that's not real, and that's his reality.
See,
That's his world.
What I think is the craziest thing about media is it's like you could be showing an actual picture of an ET or something, but
Yeah,
someone could be like, that's Photoshop, that's edited.
exactly.
So it's so hard to know. I think that's why I kind of stay away from videos and pictures, just because I don't actually know. But
it's hard to know. But all I want to say about that specific topic is yes, a lot of them are fake. A lot of UFO pictures are fake, but a lot of them are real. So we can't just assume every picture is fake, because it's not. I would say a good amount of them are not fake. Um, so yeah, so back to the truth thing. Um, it's it's important to get out of that mindset that the truth is impossible to find, because it's possible, and you can't you can't look for proof, because like I said, proof is subjective. Truth has to be experienced, and there are ways for you to experience truth. And if you are curious, if you are like us, then then experience it, find it, because it's out there, but it's not going to come to you. You have to come to it, and you just have to understand that it's possible.
Right.